Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to another episode of the It Gets Better Elsewhere podcast. I'm your host, Louis Beans, and I'm here with Margaret the Mike.
What is going on, world?
Chillin', Mert. What's good in the hood?
Not much, man. Kind of went a little shopping Forbidden Planet yesterday. Got myself the Super 7 Casey Jones.
Is that brand new or has he been out for a
He been
while?
out for a bit.
Okay.
So I was talking to the dude in Forbidden, and he was saying, yeah, they starting to get them in. He said, like, the only ones that are getting harder to get are the turtles, because those are usually the popular ones to get picked up. But he said, like, a lot of them are slowly coming into the store. So I was like, huh, if that's so, I might just pick them up there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But, so they have a bunch of them already. They have, but I was like, what I'm gonna do is probably maybe once a month I'll probably grab one. So Casey Jones is this month's, or well, last month's. So this month I could get another one. There you go. I'll probably get Mambo
So,
next.
what do they retail for at that store?
54, which is
Okay.
the regular price right now. If you go to any website, they're about $54. So, yeah, it looks really cool. I actually like the way it looks. It looks like the old school figure of the Casey Jones, and it has all the weapons and his golf bag full of weapons and everything like that. So it looks really cool. I also found these construct sets. Like they're like Lego, like cheap Legos, and they made a below Five Below in Union Square.
That's like a chain?
Yeah,
Or
it's like
not?
$5 and low and below. So everything's like $5 and lower. Um, and so I went in there and checked it out. They have like massive amounts of candy and shit like that. So if you ever want to go to the movie theaters in Union Square, hit that place up first, grab your snacks, and then go in. You didn't hear from me,
Okay.
but they have like $1 boxes of candy. So there you go.
Well, me and movie theaters ain't friends, so I could just buy that and go home.
There you go. Yeah, you go home. They had a bunch of snacks, but I found these little Lego-ish, like bootleg Lego Ninja Turtle things that Raphael and Michelangelo. Michelangelo has like a little pizza parlor, and then Raphael has a little skateboard. They were like $5, so like $2. No,
Do
they
they
were like
say what?
$2.
Who? Do they say who made that?
Snap and Switch. That's what they're called. Nickelodeon.
Also, Nickelodeon toy.
Yeah. So I was like,
Okay.
it was $2. I was like, what's the worst gonna happen? This is a little Lego. Looks like a little Lego.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I was like, fuck it, why not? But I did see a bunch of things in Forbidden Planet. The Last Ronin comic book came out, so they actually had the last one. I grabbed one for Tommy because he's been collecting the physical copies. I just been reading digital. I don't care anymore. It's too much. It takes too much space. Um, and then I saw the Thundercat stuff. I sent you the memoir of it, fucking humongous, which got me scared of the gorilla that's coming into the turtle set because
And that's
he's a deluxe figure, so he's really big.
hmm
So I'm like, I hope he's not that big.
I mean, if don't you pay more money?
Yeah, it is more money, but I don't want him to be that tall. Like it's a big figure,
So you get what you pay for, man. It's too
right?
bad.
It's gonna be a giant monkey. But they had the other Thundercat stuff too. So if you're looking to start the Super 7 collection of the Thundercat figures,
hmm
Forbidden Planet's your spot. They are $54 to $60. That Momar is $74.99. So if you want the big, because the size of it is fucking humongous. But they have a
You know they had the, you know they had the regular Mara, the small
yeah,
one.
they had
Oh, they
series
did.
1 and 2
Okay,
of the Super 7 figures as well. So he was part of series 1, I think.
got you.
So
Cool.
they have all them. Yeah. So their prices are $50 to $60 depending on the wave. I think Series 2, that's when they raised prices, so it's 55 for those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So yeah, they had bunch of new stuff, a bunch of wrestling figures. They actually have a whole wrestling section now. They had a lot of new Marvel Legends. I know Tenacious T and a couple of my coworkers, they collect the DC multiverse, so they had a lot of new lines of that. It's just too much. Like I can't no more. I just stick with the turtles now.
I mean, I saw also recently because I showed you the figures that came out. Um, I'm interested in the newer AEW figures because I don't know if those were previews of I think Eddie Kingston, which is cool.
Yeah.
Is that his first wrestling figure?
Yes, it is.
So like that's a reason I kind of want to get that.
Yeah.
The Thunder Rosa, which I think also as well, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't have a figure.
That's the first figure. Yeah.
Also Powerhouse Hobbs was in that line, but also but I think he's the what do you call him, the chase figure?
No, he has
Was
a
the
chase.
no the one I'm about to bring up,
Oh, Ricky
the
Stark.
the the Ricky Starks with the Darby Allin face paint.
Yeah, that's the chase. The Darby Allin
That is
face
the one
thing.
for that set, right?
Yeah.
That sucks. I wish it was his own figure. Damn it.
Yeah. He has his own figure, but it's not, then it's a regular Ricky Stark, and then they have that one as the chase.
So it's basically almost a completely different figure because he
Yes.
comes off good shirt and he's painted for that moment on the show,
Yep.
which I think is really, really, really cool. That's probably one of in my opinion, besides the Jericho with the champagne,
Yeah.
I think that's like I will give is it Phoenix? No, the Penta. I
The
think
Penta
the
looks
first
cool.
Penta was cool. The first Penta was really cool.
I actually like
Uh,
Darby's figures too. The one with the
the one
coffin
with the casket?
skateboard.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
looks
yeah.
pretty cool too. I think
But like it's up there.
I
It's
think
up there.
Ringside put them up for pre-order. All those.
Okay, that's what it
So
was.
they're all on
Got
pre-order, and I think that they do pre-order the chase. They're a little more expensive though.
Got
Which
you.
you run like
Understood.
$50, I think, 30 to 50, depending on the how many are there. So if it's like one out of like 5,000, it'll probably be like $30. If it's one out of 500, then that would be like $100
Well, yeah, I'll make sure to check those out because I
Yeah,
have dealt with Ringside. So,
yeah, they're great. They have never had issues with them whatsoever. So,
hmm
but yeah, you can pre-order them now. That whole set is set for pre-order now.
okay, cool. So I am definitely gonna pre-order the Eddie Kingston
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
that's cool.
I was like Kingston because I might grab that for Josh, and I kind of want the FTR. I've seen them in Forbidden Planet, so I might pick up those two.
Are they in the same set?
Yeah, they're just single figures, and they come with the tag title.
Okay, cool.
So I
That's
might
cool.
actually pick up FTR. I haven't really been big on the AEW figures just because it's just another thing to collect that I just don't want to add on. But if there's certain people that I'm a fan of, I probably would grab those figures.
hmm
So like I have
If there's a swerve, there's no way I'm not getting a swerve.
yeah, you're definitely gonna get swerve. If they do, if like yeah, depending on the person and shit.
If they do a Keith Lee, they have to do a Keith Lee.
Yeah,
You gotta buy a Keith Lee.
yeah.
You gotta buy a
I
Keith
have a
Lee.
WWE Keith Lee.
Is he an elite?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know they made an elite
yeah. He
Keith
has
Lee.
two. He has one with the blue and black, and he has one in the white and pink, or the silver and
Did he
pink.
have did he have the championship in any of those?
No,
Okay,
but he has two elites. He has two elites, and I think three basics.
okay.
So he had a couple figures. They actually look really good in the WWE ones too. Like you can find them; they look really
Yeah, but
good.
aren't they the same? Like, are they kind of like the same makers or something like that? Or are
Um,
they completely different? Because I swear they don't look too dissimilar. The elites
so
to the newer.
so AEW's figures are made to kind of like interact with the elites. The person that does their figures, Jeremy Prodower, he used to do the Jack's Pacific wrestling figures. So he
But
used
that
to
was
do the
before they
old
looked all cool like that.
So he used to
They
do
don't
the
look.
old
They don't.
WWF ones. He did he was nailed for the WWF Classic wrestling figures, which were kind of what they're doing now with the elites. But that was the first ones they did. They have
Mhm.
the kind of the same details. They are doing a lot of the same things, but again, the AEW is trying to do little things different, I guess, with
I
like
mean,
the
they
ankle
all feel
joints
like
and shit like that.
post Marvel Legends figures, which is I thought that was the standard.
Yeah,
The articulation. That's the reason I like them.
yeah. And they actually have a ball, like that you can move the ankles on the AEW figures.
That's like
That's a new
a
thing. Like
newer.
WWE figures don't have that whole like ball ankle thing. Like you could move it all around. You don't have to just move it back and forth.
I guess maybe soon they'll probably get that in there because I like them because I can see the advancement in the figure technology
Yeah,
because I know figures used to be a lot stiffer.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? So that's the reason I like most of the newer ones, like the Elites and beyond,
yeah,
because they're post stiff wrestling
yeah,
figures. I know there's still basics. I get it. That's not for me. I get it.
yeah. Like if someone that's figures that's the only thing they have, then I'll grab the basic. But other than that, I try to stay with the elites. Like Drew Gulak, he never got an elite. I got his basic.
Okay. Wait.
Tony Nese, I got his basic. He never got an
Don't
elite.
make me sad. There's no Elite Drew Gulak.
No,
I'm gonna cry.
or Tony Nese.
Oh man,
So I got both of
that
those
whole
basics.
205. Well, Buddy got one, right?
But he got a elite. Yeah, he has two elites
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
One of them I actually got signed.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But he has two. He has one with the cruiserweight title and the one with the Messiah thing.
Okay. Cool.
So he has two,
All
and
right.
then he has a couple of basics as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Speaking of, I see I guess a preview for some more basics. I see AJ, John Cena, almost, Johnny Gargano, and El Metalik,
yeah,
Grand Metalik.
that's
Excuse me.
his last figure.
Gotcha.
Those are all their last figures, except for Almost
Get
and
that
AJ.
money. Well, Cena, I'm sure they're gonna keep
Yeah,
making Cena
Cena.
figures.
Yeah, Cena are gonna get more figures than anybody, but like Grandmaster Leak and Johnny Gargano, those are their last ones.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yo, Penta just super kicked Ty Conti.
Oh, they at AAA, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why I feel good about that? I don't know. It looked great.
because because his super kick is amazing. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, shout outs to, well, we're talking about simulated violence against female combatants. Shout out to Bubba Ray Dudley for posting that Trish Stratus
Yeah.
Dudley Boys clip. Bruh, they can't. Man, listen. What year was that? Was that in the 2000s?
Yeah, 2000, 2001.
Okay, all right. Because man, I hardly remember it, but when I see the clip, it just brings back the flashback. Oh man, they used to do that like every week.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's all I did. I picked
Okay.
up the Casey Jones. That was the only thing I really picked up for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, a lot of stuff coming out. Always trying to take my money.
Speaking of trying to take money, we didn't really bring up the upcoming premium tier discussion.
Yeah.
Because I talked about like, oh yeah, it's happening, but I didn't get to ask you if you saw anything about the new service change that's going to come to PlayStation Plus,
I
like
think
soon.
it starts this month.
And if you had any interest in what their new systems were going to be, if it was just like, that's just, how do you feel like, do you think it's just, hey man, they just trying to get more money out you?
Yeah, I think it's the whole trying to get more money out of you because their PS Now service wasn't good.
Okay.
Like I personally didn't care for it. I tried it out for a month and I didn't care for the PS Now, but now they're trying to get you to do it with the membership. So like I think the premium one, like the one that you get everything with, I think it's like $120 a year now.
Oh, so they calling it all new PlayStation Plus launches in June,
Yeah,
and they said, 700 plus games. But the list of what is coming from each generation, I don't think they have that yet.
yeah. And also, there's not gonna be day one exclusive either. So
Yeah, that's one thing I saw. I'm trying to see the individual. Oh, here it is. So they have it broken up into essential. I think the essential is the generic one.
yeah,
Extra, which is a shitty. That's who thought that was a cool name. Plus, how do you say plus extra,
I
dog?
don't know. There's like EX
Why
Plus.
don't you just say plus plus?
EX
That's so
Plus
stupid.
Alpha.
that, but they should. Um, so let's just go in order. Essential is the regular one, which I think is a terrible thing to say, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, just call it plus. So then there's plus
Say
extra, which
budget.
the benefit. Yeah, exactly. So the
PlayStation
benefit
budget.
of extra, right?
Yeah.
Here's the benefits for extra. Provides same as essential, adds catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games. What does it? I thought that's the same. So the here it is. Between the basic and the extra, the benefit is the streaming.
Yeah.
So you get the, like you said, which when you played it, it wasn't a good service. What do you call it? The
The
first service they
PS
had.
Now. Yeah.
So it's essentially the extra gives you now onto your monthly subscription.
Yeah.
So it goes from the monthly is originals 9.99, gets bumped up to 14. Um, they have the other territories, but that's not what we at. So we doing American money.
Yeah.
So essentially you pay $5 more for the streaming service, which if that doesn't seem that bad, but that's
Yeah.
only if you're going to use it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I would use that because that one literally only says 4 and 5. It does not say 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah. Though I think the
So
premium one is
hold on,
that
hold on.
one. Okay.
We got you. We got you. So then at the bottom they have plus premium with 2 asterisks next to it. Come on, man. So this one is you get both of the stuff from above, right?
Yeah.
But then it says you adds up to 340 additional games with the asterisk next to it, mind you. Scott Steiner is already pissed off.
Yeah. He's pissed off. He don't like that at all. They're not even creative with the names. Wasn't this originally supposed to call Spartacus, and they just cut the PS Plus?
Listen,
I would have took it as Spartacus.
I mean, I have no idea, but it does sound better than plus extra.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
So basically, you get 340 additional. So that's where they get the 700 plus, right?
Yeah.
It says PS3 games available via cloud streaming. That's one. A catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options, and that's only including PS1, PS2, and PSP. Okay. So you cannot download PS3 games.
Okay.
Which the whole thing is coming back to that whole problem with the cell processor.
Yeah.
Like why is that real? Why have they still not figured out that architecture? Come on, man.
I don't know.
Come on, man. But anyway, that's what it boils down to. And then it says, additionally, offers cloud streaming access for everything that was previously stated, right? So then they say the PS1 to PSP, and then also you can stream the PS4 games if you want to, right?
Yeah.
That's about it. So like, and then there was this one thing that I heard discussed on Giant Bomb this past week about they made a mandate for every company that has a game that is going to be priced 50 and up.
Yeah,
I believe it is. So it's like a full game price. You have to provide a timed limited trial.
That's not bad.
And yeah, that's the thing. They're like, it sounds like it's bad for them, bad for game devs, and good for the players because, yeah, you're in the extra tier, the highest tier. Like you kind of want more ways to try out anything before you buy it.
Yeah, and like you won't make the same mistake that you did with Cyberpunk.
And I think that's a part of what some of this is for too.
Right? They're just like staring at Cyberpunk. Yeah, you guys gotta like bring up a demo.
And
especially you.
Really, really, really aimed at trying to lock down companies into like getting the games into the players' hands for them to make a yes or no buy decision. So yeah Cyberpunk, we looking at you. You did this.
I'm fine with, like, honestly, Yeah.
Oh, wait, before we go
Yeah.
further,
Go
let
ahead.
me get the price. The price for that one, and they don't have them listed here for the per. Oh, yes, they do. They do have it per year. Is the U.S. will go from, like we said before, 9 for regular. Extra is 14, and premium is 17, and that's per month. So if you want year, the year for the original is 60. The year for extra is 99. The year for premium is 120.
Yeah.
So that's what it goes up to.
Um. So
Mhm.
now you make me have to choose which one I want. So this is the thing with PlayStation Now, and this is my experience with PlayStation Now, and the reason why I don't like it. The trophy system sucks,
Okay.
and
Explain.
that would be the
I don't
only
know.
reason why I'll go back to old games is to get trophies. I could care less about playing a PS2 game now. Like I'm not gonna go back unless I'm really dying, eager to play it and stuff like that. I'm not. It's really rare for me to go back to a game unless it's like easily in my disposal to play.
Mm-hmm.
So, like the trophy system is a deal breaker. If their trophies are not gonna work, or you're gonna have issues with them, I'm pretty much not gonna like the service. And
Gotcha.
that was one thing. Two, Game Pass has day ones, and that's a big thing of me paying the whole membership for Game Pass. Is that I got Halo day one, I got
Mm-hmm.
Forza Horizon day one. Like their top games, their games, their exclusive games are day one on Game Pass. And I think that's more me like, oh, so I'm gonna get that because yeah, I could get those new games without having to buy a game. I have
Mm-hmm.
not bought a game for Xbox since I bought my since I got my Series X. I have not bought one game for the Xbox because I have Game Pass.
Gotcha. Gotcha. But
PlayStation now is not
you
gonna let
have
you
been
do that.
able to have the Xbox experience, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm able to go on everything. I'm able to go online. I'm able to do everything and play the whole game. So that's
Mm-hmm.
not a problem. So
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation Now or whatever it's gonna call now is premium stuff like that. If I do the highest thing, right,
Yes.
I'm not gonna get no day one exclusive titles unless they're gonna line up doing it anyway. If people don't pick up on these subscriptions, like what's the point of me getting this? Was to play older games? No, I don't like my like I would be more into it if not even all the big titles for PlayStation to come out directly on it, but give you some of them,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
maybe for like a week or two or something like that, or a month. Like, hey, you can get this now for this month only and stuff like that. Like kind of like how the PlayStation Plus games work. You have 1 month to get this game. If you don't get it, you can't get it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind that, but like it don't have to be every title. But some titles you should be able to just give it away, just because you know what, you want me to keep this membership, you got to give me something out of it. And the PS4, PS3, PS2 libraries is not going to do it for me.
Gotcha.
I want the new
Gotcha.
games. That's just me.
The
That's
perspective I have for it is I would do it because I like their library,
yeah,
but um, I think I have a better way to curate and buy what I want for a lesser price, and I get to keep the games.
yeah,
So I'm trying to think back to um, just exactly what I would want to play. Right when it comes to PS3, the stuff on there is very few and far between
yeah,
because the exclusives during that era, they there's a handful that you want, right?
yeah.
Because that was the big era where the competition got fierce enough that Xbox had majority of the same third party. So when you go between the two, there's like I don't really have a want for either one. So if you were going to do Game Pass, everything is there except for those PlayStation exclusives. Now, how much do you want to play the PlayStation 3 exclusives? that's like the only way. That's the only reason you want to get into that last tier. I feel because it's not on anything else.
Yeah.
It's not in this. It's not in the second tier.
Yeah.
Extra does not give you PlayStation 3 games. That's literally well. I mean, do you have an affinity for anything from one, two, and for one, two, and three, basically?
Not really.
But even on, I'm not talking about you.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
talking about you. I'm talking about in general. And I know most people's problem with PlayStation was they didn't keep the backwards compatibility past 2.
Yeah.
Like the first system, it didn't do it because it was the new one, right? The second one did it
Yeah.
because they weren't trying to make a new architecture and screw things up. And then the third one, they messed it all up. And then people were sad because the base system, they eventually, most of them, now they're on the verge of death, right?
Yeah.
You have to keep getting them fixed or whatever, or you're lucky and yours didn't burn out yet. But it's few and far between. And when they went to 4, they did not curate the system. They said, we don't care. And then they implemented now.
Yeah.
Right? And then now started as kind of blah.
Yeah.
I have not had a chance recently. I don't have a 5s to so I can't talk about the ecosystem of what they have there now. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right? But how easy is it for me to get access to this? Because with the way the system is, me trying to find one, do I want to find one? Because I don't. The graphics aren't the reason for me to get the system, right? The convenience of a lot of the things in it are the reason I should be getting this. But if you're telling me that Game Pass is on PC, it makes it a real hard sell.
Yeah.
Like what is in it for me? And if this comes to PC, that's then and only then will I go, right?
Yeah.
It's because they have made a commitment to. I believe they've made a commitment to some of the games having some way to play some of them online. Not all of them. They have not said we're going to put all these games online, but I think there are like certain marquee titles that will have online. So if that's the case, I mean that's nuts in and of itself that they're providing that. Now, since you have access, Merc, does Xbox keep those servers for them old games online, or are they just done?
It depends on the company.
See, okay,
It depends. It depends on if EA or whatever system is running their online, if they have it still online.
Gotcha.
Like Ubisoft just turned off a bunch of games online.
Gotcha.
So that's on them more than on the actual Xbox or PlayStation.
Okay,
they don't control that part.
Okay. See, that's the thing, is that it depends on what is and isn't going to be there. Because again, that I say it's kind of a major thing, but you have to remember, if you're trying to go back and then also try to get the full experience from some other stuff that you're going back to, that includes the online. That includes anything that was an upgrade, because especially from the PS3/PSP era, there were things that you can get only via online, you know?
Yeah.
And again, as a part of trying to get those experiences back, if you try to do that via bootleg means, you do open yourself up. Just saying.
Yeah.
You have to go through some type of, you got to get some stuff from some people you may not trust, is what I'm trying to say.
Yep.
So for me, it's like, if you're going to come to PC and then you're going to be like, all right, you can safely play these games, all right, I might look into it, is what I'm saying. That's the only thing I might look into. But then again, they're going to have to change that price, because there's no Plus on PC.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What am I going to buy?
I don't know.
What am I going to use it for?
Yeah.
Playing online on PC games is free, man. Come on, get out of here with that. So you ain't charging me to play online. That's one of the reasons I just gave up and did not renew. It was like, I bought this game for like $5.
Yeah.
This $5 game, they don't charge me $60 a month to play this game online. Yeah. I'm just saying, hey, that's my main issue is I'm all for preservation and keeping the stuff around, but you have to understand the climate.
Yeah.
And it's like, the pandemic messed up a lot of things, because I'm sure they had plans.
Yeah.
Because if I had a PS5 in my hands, I'd be talking different. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would. I'm just saying. So
I honestly, I think this whole thing of the making the PlayStation Now with the membership and everything like that is kind of, I feel like they're forcing themselves to do it than actually wanting to do it. Because this was it wasn't. If you go back to the ending of PS4 and going to PS5 and how they talk about the past games, they didn't fucking care.
yeah, that guy. I know what you're talking about too.
Yeah,
I think he was like a president or something. He
yeah,
was
he didn't.
a
They didn't give a
high
fuck.
a high profile person in the company and was like, we don't care about this.
Xbox, it
So
was like, we want you to play every generation,
mhm.
and that was their game plan. I think one of the big things with the Xbox, I think what their plan was going into making the Xbox Series X is making shit easy access,
Mhm.
and I think
Mhm.
that was the marquee of it, just to have everything easy access. So
Yeah.
Game Pass makes it well worth it because yes, you get the brand new games, you get shit. Everyone's paying $60 for the baseball game. I've been paying baseball games for. I bought the last two, and then the fact that it's on Game Pass, it saved me $60. I didn't buy it on PS5. I'm playing it on Xbox. So now you have more marquee people playing on Xbox because it's free. Because if they have Game Pass, it's done. It's there, and that's a brand new hot game. I'm more for those things like that to get me excited to play it. Like, you need to give me something more than the past games that are barely worked on the PS Now, and hopefully you fix it by the time that is a full service.
Yes, sir.
Because one of my biggest things that I had issues with, because I wanted to go, all right, so this is something, the reason why I did the PlayStation Now, because I wanted to go back on the Ratchet and Clank games, because they do not have a collection at all. They never made a collection, which I'm fucking very surprised that that game never got a fucking like a HD remaster collection at all. Like, that's one game that she had it a long time ago, and I went back to play them, and like the trophy, I think it was for the time one. I think it was it was the first one that was on the PS3. That one had trophies. They and that trophies were all messed up on that in that game, and then also like they didn't have every single game either.
This is true. This is
So
true.
like that's good depending on what games you're gonna give me. Like, I have to really look at the games you're giving me, and see if it's worth me paying another $60 for a year.
That's true. That's true.
Because I don't pay $60. I pay $40. I'll find them shits on CD keys, and that's what the membership I have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But and I racked up a couple of them. So right now I'm good for like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So like that service has to catch me. If not, I may pass on it.
Same. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
It's what you come in there for. I just hope that when I hear people start actually using it I guess it's this summer.
Yeah.
I hope people say that it actually that the online is stable, the emulation is good, and then that everything is smooth. Because then if it does happen to end up on PC, I'll look into it. Because again, as a fan of the stuff that I would like to go back to. Yeah, there's more stuff on PlayStation that I would rather play that's from those systems than on Xbox. Because then again, don't forget, Xbox doesn't go back that long.
Yeah.
They stop at Xbox. Yeah. So PlayStation 1 still has some stuff that I haven't got to touch because maybe
I missed the last thing you said.
No, maybe it was too expensive at the time. Maybe that was only imported. There's a whole bunch of factors to a lot of games, right?
Yeah.
So for an archivist perspective, like I'd like to check it out, but it can't be stuff with really bad input lag as well. Like that would throw me off of it from trying it. Like if the input lag is too bad for anything that's streamed, I can't do it.
Yep.
So we'll see. And I guess that's it. We'll get into this here.
Before we get into the movie, I just want to bring up a little news with so within the last couple of weeks, Discovery bought out Warner Brothers,
and
they're pretty much cleaning house. So like the Arrowverse is done. Like they're canceling everything. They're not making there's no new TV or shows getting done on TBS and TNT. AEW might have to find a new home. What else? And WB Games might get sold.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that they were trying to sell WB games and then they stopped it.
Right now, they actually are back on the market for selling it, and they're selling their property. So they're willing to sell, let people, different companies do the DC games, but they're selling off their game studios.
So who the hell's gonna buy NetherRealm? Somebody please buy it.
Yeah.
Somebody could
So
buy
that's something
NetherRealm.
that's coming up that in the news feeds, and I'm like, wow,
Microsoft,
that's crazy.
please buy NetherRealm.
Microsoft NetherRealm, that'd be a crazy pickup.
I think get all the money for the MK game. There you go.
Yeah, and if they could get the okay, then Justice as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's the reason why we ain't getting an Injustice 3 right now. We're getting a Mortal Kombat instead.
I
Because of the
wonder
whole
what studio.
WB shit.
Well, yeah, there's not. See, yeah, that's the thing. I don't really know who else would make an Injustice game.
Yeah.
I would think about it. Like, who would I want to make one? But like, I don't like, yeah.
I think NetherRealm did a good job with that one. I'm fine with NetherRealm keeping doing that. But so there's big announcements of a big chance that someone buys out Rocksteady. It's a big chance that someone will buy out like a lot of the companies that are looking at a lot of the game studios they have. So it's just something to bring up and something to really look at, like seeing that they have the Gotham Knights coming out very soon, Suicide Squad. Those projects are still in the go, but what happens to WB Games after this? It'd be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who buys it? Who doesn't? That's a big one to actually pick up if you want exclusive stuff.
I think Capcom should buy it.
Capcom. Make Capcom versus DC.
Finally, right? People
go.
was crying for that so long. There you go.
There you go. But yeah, we'll have more news on it. I just wanted to bring it up because that's something that's going crazy. AEW might actually have to find a new home.
They'll be fine.
The reason why because I think they're switching TNT and TBS into a pretty much a sitcom rerun show channels.
Mm-hmm,
They're not putting new content on it, so they might have to go to a different channel.
I wonder if they'll go to
next year. They have until next year.
What is the people affiliated with Fight? Like, I wonder if they end up affiliated with them if they shut down
That'd
the
be
channel.
cool, but with Fight you gotta pay a premium to watch it.
But like, isn't it like don't they have a network where you don't have to? You do it like as if you were paying for a channel.
Access has it, but not everyone has Access TV. Like, not all networks have. Not all cable have access.
They're not
TV.
Okay. They're not carried by everybody.
Yeah.
Understood.
That's the only thing I would say with AEW. They have a chance. They might have to move because of what they're doing. Discovery's like not wanting to spend money, and they're actually trying to like cut down a lot of shit. So they're trying to revamp the whole DC movie line. They're trying to revamp. They canceled everything that was TV show wise on CW. They canceled everything on of the Arrowverse shit. So that's all done. No more of that.
They didn't finish out whatever season they had.
I think Flash is ending. Well, they just canceling everything, and whoever is finished is finished. So they're letting them finish out. So okay. Flash is finished. Like, this is the last season of Flash.
Gotcha.
I have no clue where they're at with Flash. I'm probably like three seasons back. So.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen.
That's gonna be crazy.
Maybe I was just watching. I have not seen the Arrows. Well, the revamped Arrow stuff. But I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
Oh well.
So they're trying to go more in the Marvel base with the movies and stuff. So let's see what they do. The Batman was a really good movie. So if you haven't watched it, it's on HBO Max now.
Mm-hmm.
And so stuff like that. But yeah, they changing a lot of shit. So that we're probably gonna get a lot more news on that within the next couple of weeks or so.
Got you. Okay.
They're cleaning the house.
Good stuff.
Now, our comic book theater movie of the week is From Hell.
Keep going. You got the release date?
Yeah, I'm getting it right now. Fuck. It is a horror movie. It's considered horror mystery thriller. Yeah, came out 2001. Release date. Where the hell was the release date? I just had it too. Oh, here we go. No, they don't have it there either. Sorry. It doesn't give me the release date. Oh, here it goes. Release date is October 19th, 2001. It is rated R, and it is running time of 2 hours and 2 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Our stars are Johnny. It's directed by the Hughes brothers, Albert and Alan Hughes. They're known for Book of Eli, and they did some other stuff, but Book of Eli was a good one. And Menace to Society as producers.
Gotcha.
Oh, they did. Yeah, those are the ones they did. They did some music videos too.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Writers.
Writers.
Got a Baby. That's Tupac. Yeah, I see.
Writers are Alan Moore and Terry Campbell. But those are the graphic novel writers. They kind of have the movie writers as well, which is Terry Hayes and Ralph. I don't know. I can't even say his last name.
Oh, that's Iglesias.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, Alan Moore does not like anything that is done with his writing at all.
And that he did this. He said came out around this time. It was like, stop using my stuff.
He's been saying that for a long time, but this was one of the first.
Gotcha.
But like League of Sword and Gentlemen, V for Vendetta, Watchmen, he hates every single one of those movies.
Okay.
But anyway.
Why does he keep letting people use his stuff? Does he not have a say?
Because he doesn't own the rights to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't own the rights to it, but he wrote for it. So, yeah. So he just hates when people does his movies because they don't see the. I guess like if you write it in a certain way and you have a certain message you want with your writing and they don't come across when it comes to the movies. I guess I don't know, but he just don't like no one doing his stuff. We got the cast: Johnny Depp, Heather Graham, Ian Holm, Robbie Coltrane. Trying to find. Those are the one. Paul Rise as Dr. Farrell. Yeah, Johnny Depp as Inspector Frederick Albert. Heather Graham, Mary Kelly. She had two first names. Sir William Gull as Ian Holm. Robert Coltrane as Sergeant Peter Goldie. Should I mention anyone else on this list?
I wish they had the pictures of them in the movie because it makes it easier to identify them.
Right? Yeah, like they look completely different.
Because their names, because the I guess the inspector, Sir Charles Warren.
Yeah.
He was the main character, but his picture, he does not have the mutton chops and mustache, so he does not look like the character.
Yes.
So it's Ian Richardson as Sir Charles Warren. Jason Fleming is Netley the coachman, the nervous guy who was the nervous alcoholic.
Yes.
Katrin, was her name really Cartledge? Wow. Cartledge, yeah. As Dark Annie Chapman. Terrence Harvey as Benjamin Ben Kidney. Susan Lynch as Liz Strive. Paul Rice as Dr. Farrell. Leslie Sharp as Kate Eddowes. See, I think this lady, Estelle Skornick as Ada, I think she was one of the other prostitutes.
Yeah.
Nicholas McMagahay, I forget. Officer Bolt, I don't remember.
Me either.
And let's see. Oh no, she was the main line. Annabelle Apsian as Polly Nichols. I think that's about it.
I think Jonah Page is the one that got got her brain picked.
Oh yeah, the unfortunate guinea pig. Yes, and Crook is her character.
Yes.
So basically, this is Tales of Jack the Ripper. Is what it boils down to, because in this movie, Johnny Depp's character is a, I guess they point him as a clairvoyant detective,
Yeah.
whereas, and then in this era, which I believe is the 1800s, I don't think it's 19 somethings. I think they say it's
Yeah, it's in the 18s, I think.
1880s is when Jack the Ripper was supposedly be had been around.
Yeah.
So it's that time period of Victorian era London. So it's a period piece, right? And his character being clairvoyant, which is interesting because the people believe him, right? They believe this man has these psychic powers. So, I mean, in the universe, he does,
Yeah.
right? He is able to drug himself up on this concoction. They in the beginning, they find him in an opium den, passed out. Um, but then later on, you see him like mix together a bunch of stuff and then have his basically his psychic trip in the bathtub. So it's him getting blasted out of his mind essentially to access these visions. Is so that's his character, right?
Yeah.
He's kind of a he doesn't come across as a degenerate, but because his character has to use the drugs to get the powers, they call him at one point a degenerate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Um, so with that wrinkle, we have him trying to solve these excessively violent and gruesome murders of prostitutes. Um, so at one point in the movie, right, it's early on, and this is the one of the things I think that it kind of confused me, but now I think about it, it doesn't. Is that Jack the Ripper exists as a person, right, as an entity already in this
Yeah.
movie, or they try to say that these are related. They mention him in passing because there are already murders. So when it gets down to this case, this part of the city that he's in, where he's trying to solve these murders, they leave it open for the fact that the killer here may also be Jack the Ripper.
Yes.
They don't necessarily say it is, and then so one of the things I think might confuse people is that this movie is like trying to say who Jack the Ripper is. My interpretation is not. It's actually it ends up being not well. It is sinister because it's gruesome murders regardless, but it ends up to the conclusion that I ended up with at
I lost you.
hold up
Okay.
hold up stop stop. Sorry. So the conclusion I ended up with through the trials and tribulation of his character is that the killer here is using Jack the Ripper as a cover. He's operating within the same timeline as Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Because in history, you never find out who he is, right?
Yeah.
There's no clear we caught him, right? Not that I know of, right? To this day, they don't know who he is, right?
No, they never
They don't,
caught him. Yeah.
yeah. So again, I think that's my interpretation of what ends up happening. Is like
Yeah.
they don't tell you who he is, but they show you things going on at the same time.
Yeah. And there was like always like a shit ton of like copycats too throughout those
That's what
times as well.
yeah.
So yeah, they
Yeah.
never had. And then yeah, they pretty much used it as like a scapegoat. So like, haha. Oh, they're doing it perfect scissors now. They're doing perfect blading now and all that shit.
So yeah, and then for the journey they set you on of, you find out very early on that the main plot thread is the prostitutes, which know each other, right? And they see things, and one day there's a girl they see who used to be a prostitute,
Yeah.
and I guess she met a man,
Mm-hmm.
and they were all like, "Oh, we're happy, he took care of you." You see her with her baby, right? And then she comes and hangs out with her friends, I guess, to say hi and bye and whatnot. This girl finds out that they are being harassed by a street gang
Yeah.
who's looking for payment. and then you're introduced to that character, which is basically the street gang's enforcer.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get his name. The guy Terrence Harvey,
Yeah.
and his name is Benjamin Ben Kidney, and you see him often. And the movie does a really good job of kind of like when these murders happen, he becomes a suspect, but not to the police. That's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of what this movie does is kind of lets you go along for like the ride with Johnny Depp to solve it,
Yeah.
but it never explicitly paints out any of the people that you would suspect as the murderer. And that's what I really like about it is there are moments where you see them doing things and you go, oh, that's evil.
Yeah.
Well, that's sick. Like with the one character, um, Dr. Farrell,
Yeah.
when he basically destroys this another prostitute. And
Yeah.
that's why I said to Mark, damn, it looked like it was hard to be a hoe in this time.
Uh-huh.
Because if you were a prostitute, they would just do whatever to you.
Take you and you're a
So
guinea pig.
yeah, so Dr. Farrell, not Commander Farrell, Dr.
Yeah.
Farrell. Dr. Farrell, who's another character, you see he's an upstanding, you see he's a well looked upon, he's high profile as a doctor in whatever field he's in. But you see he has this barbaric treatment supposedly to cure like this woman's they paint her as like she's mentally unstable and crazy and psychotic because they say she has thoughts of constant persecution and anxiety and fear, and with his treatment she'll be fine, she'll be cured, and that's what you get. But here's the thing, as you watch the movie and you go through, you start to piece together that they were all connected. The doctor, Benjamin, like Benjamin Kidney, and then further on, as you're introduced to more characters, you're introduced to the doctor for the royal family, and then you're introduced to I think she's like a duchess,
Yeah.
the old lady that talks to him
Yes.
and tells him to clean up everything, and you don't really know exactly what she means, and then you find out what she meant later on was kill all the whores who
Yeah.
gave the prince syphilis, basically.
Yep.
Like there's a whole through line that goes through, and it just gets more and more sinister as you start to put the pieces together. So people that you end up thinking were just throwaway characters turn out to be like, oh yeah, they were definitely just cogs in the greater scheme of this entire plot, because the prince was loose is basically what it was. So again, it all spirals from that woman and the baby and the whore and the baby, and then they trace it back to that, what do you even call it, that city's red light district, I guess it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then that group of women gets saddled with, well, we have to teach you a lesson. And this is what Johnny Depp's character slowly discovers as he's going through. He's like, first they think it's just random murders, right? And then when it stacks up, they start thinking, oh no, we gotta kill her. Oh no, there's a common thread here. This killer is slitting their throats and dismembering them and taking pieces from them. So first it was, they just dismembered the lady. They cut up her throat. Because the first woman is different from the rest of them. They cut up her throat, and then I think they cut off or mutilated her vagina, right?
Yeah.
But then when they get to the next one, they did that, but then they took pieces, and then that's when Johnny Depp was like, he started to think that it was for somebody collecting for like black market stuff.
Yeah.
But then eventually it spirals and spirals, and it seems that the thought is that he's doing it to punish them.
Yeah.
And then that's what it ends up being, is that the killer was sent by the royal family to punish the prostitutes. And then it's just crazy from there on, because you just watching them, and they go into gruesome detail.
Yes.
Like you see these people get, not everything, but this movie earns its R rating, is what I'm going to say.
Yes.
So it's a wild ride the entire time. And you know what? The movie kept my attention. It's 2 hours and some. It's two
Yes,
hours and change,
did a good
but
job.
it's, I guess you could say, it's a captivating movie. Like the acting in the movie is very good, right?
Yeah,
But
the actions could be better, but yeah, it is what it is.
the only problem I had accent wise was the Irish lady,
Yeah,
because that's a plot point, and she didn't seem, you couldn't tell she was really Irish except for her cartoonishly red hair, which
yeah.
I don't get that, because
I
people's
think
hair isn't that aren't just
I
that
think
red.
Jackie said the same exact thing.
Like she's clearly died,
Yeah,
and it didn't bother me until they made it a plot point of
yeah,
that one woman being, oh yeah, she's Irish, so she's probably like a spy. And then again, you hear so many little innocent things, because there's a lot of not casual, there's a lot of overt racism
yeah,
towards the Jews, towards the Irish, towards, I think they say like, I'm not sure if they mention, towards the Native Americans, like specifically at when they're trying to pin down the crime.
yeah,
But you realize also that Johnny Depp's character is being thrown off the trail by the Freemasons.
yeah,
And it all ties in together, because then you find out the police chief is a Freemason,
yeah,
because he yokes him up and shakes the ring off at him towards the conclusion of the movie.
yeah,
And it's just like, oh man, you didn't, if you don't pay attention to the little pieces when it adds up to it, you don't quite get the same impact, because they were showing you the entire time who's connected and who's not. And
yeah.
it's like, wow, okay.
Yep.
And then, you know what? I give it credit.
Cool. So what are you gonna give this movie?
I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
I'm gonna give it a 4.
So go right under Pootie Tang.
Mm-hmm. I did not expect to like it, and I ended up like really digging it.
And also, it's a different movie than what we have been watching. A
Mm-hmm.
lot different. I think the last horror-ish movie we saw was Demon Knight.
No, the last horror movie we saw was the shit with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh yeah. That was a horror. That was a horror movie.
That was like a body horror. That movie was gruesome.
Yes, it was. Virus, right?
Virus. Yep. But that was more. Jamie Lee Curtis type of horror. Scary. There's a monster here. This one is more of a psychological slasher movie almost.
Yeah. I think I'll go for it as well. It's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Different, but I enjoyed it. So right now, pretty much our countdowns are exactly the same. Pootie Tang number 1, From Hell number 2, Unbreakable number 3, Ghost World number 4, Josie's Pussycats number 5, Monkey Bones number 6, and X-Men's number 7. For next week, we do have Blade 2.
All right, that's not bad. I like Blade 2.
And for the next couple of weeks, we have Men in Black 2 after that, Road to Perdition after that, Spider-Man, and then Daredevil.
Okay, gotcha. I have not seen Spider-Man since way back when, so
I always catch it like in the middle of the movie. I never like watched the full movie like in a long time. I will catch it like right when she like Mary Jane is falling out the balcony or some shit.
the one part of the movie, I think it's close to that part.
Yeah.
It's just the part where Green Goblin kills all those people and they turn into skeletons.
Yeah, that was like right after that scene. Yeah.
That's my favorite part of the movie.
Yes.
Just like, what? Damn.
So yes,
What's this movie rated?
Yeah. So Comic Book Theater will continue with Blade 2 next week. Last but not least, just because we were talking about comics and things like that, there was a loss a big loss in the comic book world with Neil Adams passing away. 80 years old. Neil Adams was a big person in the like 60s, 70s, or early 80s comics. He created John Stewart, Green Lantern. He created Ra's al Ghul. He and Alan Moore is pretty much responsible to the shape of what Batman is now. He had amazing runs on X-Men. He had amazing runs on Green Lantern and Green Arrow. He has that book that about the drugs and stuff like that with Green Arrow. He's the one that drew that book. He has a tremendous amount of work done over the years, and he was such a cool dude too. He was very approachable, very nice. Will gladly have a conversation with you if you came to his table. I have a couple of his original art at my house somewhere, and it's sad to lose a person. He was also very big in the artist rights and helped them get the same pay as writers and things like that throughout the 70s and 80s, and he was a big advocate for that. So he's a
Yeah,
big part of
one thing
history.
I want
Yeah.
to give him credit for was that he was the guy, one of the main people fighting for Simon and Schuster, I think it was,
Yeah.
to get the rights.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, he was a and he's the one person that will actually help you with the fight and things like that. And a lot of people a lot of people actually showed their love for him, and also like Kevin Smith. If you listen to Beyond, Fat Man on Batman and Beyond,
hmm
they had a whole cast about him and stuff like that. So, yeah, rest in peace, New Adams. And again, like if you see Batman, that's those pointy ears, navy blue and gray, that's his art. That's what created that. He's the one that made that movement of that color suit and things like that.
hmm
The style of what Batman is now is between him and Alan Moore. So like
Gotcha.
he did
Gotcha.
a lot. And then Green Lantern John Stewart is probably one of the best Green Lanterns and big in the animated series. But he was a bigger he was the first black Green Lantern character.
Yeah. Yep.
And stuff like that. So he has a lot of memorable books. I recommend anyone going through some of his comic book library. He has a ton of stuff that you may be like, oh shit, I remember that cover, or I remember this story, I remember this cover. He probably has a hand in the cover or the art in the book. So yeah, and he has a lot of good X-Men stuff too.
Okay. Do you know what his time period in X-Men was?
Mid 80s,
Okay.
mid 80s, late 80s.
Okay.
I think
Gotcha.
he was the artist on Giant Size. I'm not sure though. I'll tell you right now if he did the art.
Which one you mean?
No, he was not in Giant Size. He was like during the time before Giant Size X-Men.
Oh,
So
okay.
Cyclops
Gotcha.
still had like the cap on his head and shit.
Oh, you mean the full costume?
Yes, but this was the blue and yellow one, not
The
the
blue and yellow one.
original one.
Yes.
So
Okay.
yeah, so definitely check his stuff out. Check his art and stuff like that. He has a lot of amazing work, so definitely check it out. And I met him a couple times, and he was always extremely cool. So sad to the loss, but again, he lived a good life. He was doing cons until like last year, I guess. About a year
Gotcha.
or two.
Okay. Good
Well,
stuff. Good stuff.
before 2020 at
And
least.
and something people also mentioned he was doing like I think readings and stuff on Facebook and whatnot,
Yeah,
like a bunch of different things. So yeah,
yeah. So
really big into the community. So
yes,
that's a really big loss.
yes.
Gotcha.
All right. So we wrap this up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for listening to another episode of the It Gets Better as Real podcast. Make sure you check us out anywhere and everywhere. Red Cyclone Inc. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify. We also have a WordPress. Check us out. Where you at, Merc?
Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. All Mark with the mic. And always remember, follow the Jinkies.
He stays hungry.
Peace out. Laters, and Blade 2 will be for next week.
Do do